treat, my friend.
An agent needs assistance.
Sorry, buddy. You missed me. Guess that was a ratio. Bro, this is... Oh my god, this is crazy. I have to explain it to you after. Specialization ammo.
Friendly claiming supply drop.
What's there a secret mine targeting me from across the map? It just love my sweet ass.
Get off that cover.
The enemy is claiming the supply drop.
Sniped and he's down.
Yes, we are back again so soon with another build video. Be Righteous here, and how's everyone doing? Well, I am particularly excited about this, and I know there are a lot of complaints going around about the new EMP sticky bomb, how useless it is, but I found a use for it. I have to admit though, it doesn't do exactly what I thought it would do, but nonetheless, I made it work. So if you're interested in builds from DPS all the way to skill for both PvE and PvP, then please drop a like and don't hesitate to subscribe. I'm sure you'll love it here. Have you ever wanted to take the leadership role on your team? One that provides support, damage, and utility all in one? Well, look no further, because Sabotage will give this to you. A build not rushed for the simple fact of the new skill recently released, but a build theory crafted from the moment the EMP was mentioned, waiting for the opportunity to fill the second skill slot, and that moment is here. I've been patient long enough, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's have a look at this build. Hey guys, we're here, and I just want to tell you a few things before we start. I've been waiting on this EMP sticky to come as soon as it was announced, and honestly, I was gonna come out with a video explaining 5 more combat tactics that you need to know about certain aspects of the game, and one of them was regarding the EMP in general, because I gotta tell you something. I created a monster with the shield build that I made called Impregnable. I literally believe that I started a meta with the shields, because the ability to not be able to take shields down with jammer is something that is very hard to deal with. So I discovered something while I was testing. Did you know that the EMP grenade, the grenade, right? Even if you have 100% disrupt resistance, the EMP grenade will take a 14 million health shield down to 1/3 of its health, just from one of these EMP grenades. I tested this out on my own when I had my Impregnable build on that has 100% disrupt resistance. Dropped a grenade on myself. I just wanted to see if I was immune. It doesn't matter if you're immune. The EMP grenade will do significant damage to your shield. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, hold on a second, wait a minute. Is this the EMP sticky bomb? Does this do the same damage as the EMP grenade? That's why I created this build, because it was in preparation. I'm like, if this EMP sticky bomb is an EMP grenade in the form of a sticky, I found a counter to my own build. And I'm like, you know, this is gonna be an amazing build, right? It still is, but I got the sticky bomb and it was very underwhelming in regards to that. I was doing some testing with my clanmate when I went to the DZ. I said, pull out your shield. How much health does it have? 14 million. 100% disrupt resistance. I'm like, okay, I'll shoot the sticky on his shield. It does absolutely nothing. It doesn't do any damage or anything. I threw my grenade. It's satisfying. So it turns out that it does not damage shields that have 100% disrupt resistance, because the EMP sticky bomb is just like a disrupt status effect. It doesn't do any damage to the shield. The people who are running impregnable with 100% disrupt resistance, it won't affect. So for somebody with a shield, this is nothing more than using a jammer pulse. In regards to that, it's not worth using. Okay, so I was like, man, this whole build is scrapped. I was so disappointed. And then I just was like, hold on, don't give up on it yet, because this concept is great, you know. I said in the thumbnail, I can't believe how many perks this build has. It's a great build, so I didn't want to scrap it. I went into conflict and it was working wonders. It didn't work how I wanted it to work, but it works entirely different. And I'm about to get into this build and show you why it's effective and the advantages it has over the other sticky bombs and why it's unique. So let's get right into this. The specialization I'm going with is the Technician, and that's for many reasons, okay? When you're using Technician specialization, especially when fighting against skills and fighting against Black Tusk and all the skills that they have, like the dogs and the mini tanks, Technician has a perk on its tree that allows you to do extra damage to hostile electronics and skills. So just by using this specialization, you're going to be doing more damage to skills and skill proxies, which is great because this game is 50% skill based. And this is going to do nothing but help you. The primary weapon I'm going with, the Savage Wolverine. This might be one of the coolest looking weapons I've ever seen on Division. Look at this skin. It just looks savage, like it says, you know. And you guys might be thinking, why are you using the Savage Wolverine? I'm using it for many reasons. I came out with a video called 5 Advanced Combat Tactics. This was like 2 months ago, and I was describing that when you use the Jammer Pulse, it works in correlation with certain talents, like this, perfectly close and personal. You gain 38% weapon damage for 10 seconds if you kill a target within 7 meters. Well, this works with skills as well. If anybody's skill gets within 7 meters of you, you could jam their skill, and once you destroy that skill, you gain that 38% weapon damage because that skill was within 7 meters of you, giving you that damage bonus, which you can use for 10 seconds at any distance. So you don't necessarily have to kill somebody who's right in front of you, which a lot of people don't like doing, including me. I just like talents that are active based on just having the weapon. But this gives you an opportunity to have 38% weapon damage while sitting back and playing tactful. I wish I had one that was a god roll, but this is good for now. I especially want more health damage, and you're going to see why when I start describing the build to you. I rolled damage to armor on here, which is also something I'm going to describe once I get into the build. Secondary is the Nemesis Exotic Marksman Rifle, probably the best sniper in the game. And the longer you hold this down, the more damage you do, from 0 to 100%. Honestly, does not matter what sidearm you have. It's a really good sidearm with perfect breadbasket. Alright, on to the build, y'all. The first piece, the mask, is the Hollow Man. I love this mask. I always have, even after they changed it. This used to be 20% health damage, but they nerfed it along with Fox's Prayer knee pads and the Contractor's gloves. But this is still good. It's one of the reasons why I said I wanted more health damage on my Savage Wolverine. You can max out your health damage up to 21% on ARs. So if I had max health damage, then I'd have 31% health damage in total. And this isn't even a good mask. The only reason I don't have a better one is because I think the Hollow Man is like a 1% drop rate in a DZ. And by the way, you can only get this in a DZ. It's a DZ exclusive. The reason I'm using this with the Savage Wolverine, 24% total health damage. I said before in my corrosive intent build video that any dog, any heavy, anything that has a health bar and not an armor bar, and you're damaging them, you're doing health damage to them. This, along with the Technician specializations, extra damage to skills and skill proxies, you're going to be doing massive damage to those dogs, healing stations the enemy has, any skill that they use. And this is why you want this Hollow Man mask. If you don't have it, it's fine. You'll be missing out on 10% health damage, but it'll be great to have this. It's also good for finishing off those agents after you destroy their armor bar. The ideal role you want besides health damage is critical hit chance or critical hit damage. Alright? The chest piece, Fenris. for the Savage Wolverine's damage. It gives you 10% assault rifle damage. You only need one piece of this, right? The stats came as you see. I had to roll Spotter. This is the talent you want with this build, and it's one of the many perks I was talking about this build has, right? If you didn't know, Technician Specialization also has a laser pointer for an attachment that allows you to pulse enemies. I'm sure a lot of you know that, but you don't know how good this is. If any of you play Conflict, then you would know that using the actual scanner pulse, even if you have really high skill power, it's like a minute cooldown. Even with the named Gila mask that gives you 100% pulse skill haste, it's still a long cooldown. So the ability to have a laser that pulses enemy will give you and your team vision. Let's say, for example, you're chasing somebody and they run around a corner. You aim at them. They can't fool you. You can see them behind the wall along with everybody else on your team. Or if somebody's across the map, you just spot them. It's just great to have that vision, just in general. And also, when you have Spotter, it amplifies your total skill damage and weapon damage by 15%. And remember, when you see amplifies, that means it's multiplicative. One more thing, this build also allows you to utilize 3 skills at once. Pulse, Jammer Pulse, and the EMP Sticky Bomb. But you can use another skill if you like. The fact that you have Pulse on your weapon allows for you to use whatever other skill you want. So you got 3 skills right here. The holsters are usually just straightforward. It's a Providence, and for the 2-piece it gives you headshot damage and critical hit chance. The headshot damage helps with the Nemesis Sniper, and the critical hit chance helps you increase your damage. Max crit chance, max crit damage. For the backpack, I have my second piece of Providence. This is a great backpack overall. This is how all of the stats came, and I just rolled Wicked. So here's another perk to the build, y'all. Wicked. Whenever you do any type of status effect to anyone, you deal 18% weapon damage, and this lasts for 20 seconds. And if you didn't know this, if somebody on your team is running Survival or Specialization, it gives you another 10% damage to enemies who have a status effect. So then it's 28% weapon damage. Crazy, man. With this build, because you're going to be switching between your EMP Sticky Bomb and your Jammer Pulse, there's always somebody who's going to be under a status effect. So you're going to be dealing this damage to most people, even when you apply that status effect to skills. Because you can't apply Burn to a skill. You can't apply Bleed to a skill, but you can apply Disrupt to a skill. And with that, you'll be dealing that extra damage. For my gloves, I'm running the Contractors. Now, I was going back and forth trying to decide whether I wanted to use the Bullet King as my secondary or the Nemesis. And I decided that the Nemesis works really well with this build instead of the Bullet King, because I never used the Bullet King. But when I would sit back with my sniper, it's just better for this build in general. It just felt better. So you got a combination of crit, damage to armor, and health damage. I would like this to have critical hit chance or damage instead of skill haste, because you don't need the skill haste. The knee pads are Araldi Holdings, and at the beginning of the video you may have seen Providence knee pads in this slot, but that was a mistake. I just switched them out. Sorry for the confusion. But you want these knee pads for the 10% marksman rifle damage. Nothing really special about the knee pads. This is all you need right here. On to the skills, y'all. The brand new EMP Sticky Bomb. Now, I only have 1 skill tier because I'm using Technician Specialization, but with only 1 skill haste roll, I have a 24-second cooldown. That is amazing. When you look at this one, 43 seconds. 43 seconds. This is half that, right? So the EMP duration is 9.4 seconds, and the radius is almost 5 meters. Let me explain to you why this is good, okay? Nobody likes getting staggered. That's one of the worst things that can ever happen to you in PvP. The ability to be able to stagger people nonstop while jamming them is a great asset to have for your whole team, because when you stagger an enemy, that individual is open for attack without being able to do anything for a few seconds. What it also does is that it applies a status effect if they're not immune, which then gives you more damage because you have a Wicked and you have them pulse with Spotter. So you're doing 33% more damage to them while they're on their status effect and while they're pulsed. And remember, if somebody else has Survivalists on your team, you're doing 43% more damage. Hold up. What if you jam their skill right before that? 38% more damage on top of that. So the damage stacking potential in this build is crazy. Another thing about the Sticky Bomb that gives you a great advantage. I know it doesn't do much to people who have 100% disrupt resistance on the Bulwark Shield, but in PvP, all I see are people running around with Firewall Specialization running the Crusader Shield. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be immune. You shoot this sticky on that, It's going to immediately take that shield down, leaving them open and messing up their whole strategy completely. I've done it on numerous occasions. It was a time in a match where my clanmate got down and somebody came around up the stairs with a shield. I shot my EMP sticky on the ground next to him, dropped his shield, which left him vulnerable completely, and I took him down with the quickness. I mean, I didn't even intend for this to be as good as I thought it would be, but when I used it, it just flowed so naturally. The outcome was great. That's why I'm so excited about bringing you this build, and it works for me, and I hope it does for you as well. The second skill I'm using, the Jammer Pulse. Another skill that has a low cooldown when you have 0 to 1 skill tiers. The EMP effect duration is less, but the radius is a lot larger. So with this skill and with the EMP sticky bomb, you can go back and forth in between jamming, skills, staggering enemies, back and forth. With the low cooldowns, it's just a great combination to have. Now on my watch level, I don't even have any weapon damage or headshot damage yet. All I have is critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Once I get my weapon damage up, it's going to be even more devastating. This playstyle is only for a select few, but if you can pull it off, it's extremely satisfying. So if this build helped you out in any way, then please drop a like and don't hesitate to subscribe. Join the Identity family. I'd love to have you here. Until I see you in my next video, be right out.